Hello. Okay, sorry, I was on mute. Welcome to the stream tonight. I'm so sorry we are late. It has been a bit of a challenge tonight. The camera situation, the whole kit and caboodle, it's just been so yeah, and we were like testing out a new format tonight and everything. So I'm so sorry. But welcome. This is Soft Life and Sips. And as I said, we are doing, I know, look, and we get a bit more body cam in here. Bless him. Sorry, he distracts me so much and I haven't seen him all day because I've been back at my first day at my new job today. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. All right, I've got my little format here and what we're doing. And yeah, we're just going to go for it. So I hope you guys are nice and cozy, nice and comfy. I've got the chat up here. Yay, Mr. Bodie. I feel like, do we need to go down with the camera a little bit more to see him, don't we? But then you'll see my pajamas, basically. So no. He got a new collar and everything today as well. New collar, new harness, new lead. It's so very, very, very exciting. Okay. So let's get into it. I hope that you guys, you know, the intention for this now is to be a sacred start to your week. So this is a way for you to actually claim your week before your week claims you, and just setting yourself up for sort of success and slowness and soft life and all those beautiful and amazing things. So that is the point for tonight. So I think of it like we'll have a topic, so it's a little part podcast, but then it's also a little bit of a women's circle and stuff like that where we can get all comfy and cozy and do the lady things. All right. Oh my God. And so what I would love to do first is, and I just need this myself today, but this is what I want to do is we're just actually going to start with some deep breaths today and just bring ourselves into, bless you, bring ourselves into the moment. Because, I think our weeks can get so chaotic and carried away. So, just take nice big deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just bring yourself into the present as well so that we're here for this moment today. I promise next week I'll be so much more organized. So grab yourself something to drink as well. Like, be comfy if you're home. I mean, obviously if you're out and about and you're not, don't. But if you are, good. I'm not even kidding. I've got the wine hiding here. And oh my God, I need it. I need it. I really hate rushing. Like, I hate it. I hate being rushed. And that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about tonight as well, about that as well, because, if you haven't already seen this week's episode, or came out on Friday episode of the YouTube series, it's about reclaiming your time and your energy. And we're sort of going to flow on from that a little bit today, because I think what's really cool and unique is that with me going back to work today, and I'll share a little bit about that in a sec as well, is that I get to, practice what I preach and put, real like things in play, like, what we sort of, everything's all good in an ideal world, and having slow mornings and doing this if you don't have anything else to go to, or if you're not working like a 9 to 5, or whatever it may be, right? Or when real world comes knocking. So I think that this is a really unique and amazing opportunity actually to weave this into real life, and I'm almost like the experiment, and you guys get to come along and watch it too, which is just something I just love that. I just love that. So, sorry, I always got to check my notes and everything from there. Oh, I've got to wait for it all to catch up. It's a bit slow. I'm gone. Bodhi has decided that he wanted to jump off the lounge, and I thought he was going to take the camera and everything with him, which just would have been fabulous. Oh God, now he wants to come back. Come on. In or out? Come, baby. Come on. Here we go. Here he comes. You gonna jump yourself? No, of course you're not. So Bodhi is very cheeky, and he has this thing with Mum where he can jump up on these things and he doesn't because he knows that Mum is a softie. Oh, he's found the mic. He's... No. You can't eat that. No. Yeah, he's become like a huge softie where he thinks that he knows that I will just pick him up. Look at his face, he's adorable. Okay. Anyway, so let's chat. I'm going to share a little bit with you about what's going on in my life and all those sort of, fun things, a little bit of an update. So as I've mentioned a couple of times, I had my first day at my new job. So, oh, yes, darling. You're a good boy. I've missed him terribly, let me tell you. So I'm lucky enough I did get, after being made redundant, is that, I've ended up having about a month off in total, and I finally found a really good job that I'm just really stoked about and so excited to start there today. And today was the first day. So it does mean that it does change things. Oh, hello. A little bit. In the essence of this should be a Bodhi show, shouldn't it? In the essence that I allow, obviously this is like, my own business as well, and doing my content creation on my creative outlet and things like that. So seeing how the two can sort of work together, but also really about, like I'm really into this sort of slow living thing, and how does that work in the real world? And so what that looked like to, like today, so I am working back into the city. So it's about a 45-minute drive from where I live. So, it's super, doing all that, and it's in an office. And of course, if for those who don't, know, or if you know me, like I'm a mum as well, and then doing this and just doing all the things. I'm a dog mum, as you can see, of the beautiful Bodhi, who is now bringing his toys to come and play. So yeah, it's so much has been happening, and obviously it's, as much as I had a month off, which was great, I guess the first few weeks of that though was sort of a bit stressful, right? Because not having something else to go to, and then not knowing when the funds were going to be replenished again, was a bit stressful. So definitely the very last week of my holidays is something that I could enjoy, because I knew that something was coming, so I didn't have to worry about the unknown or what ifs and all that sort of stuff. Sorry, I'm grabbing the doggy. Oh, gosh. He's trying to eat me charges and everything. Oh my God, tonight is just a clusterfuck. Let me tell you, that is just what's happening. Yeah, so, but last week I just really, really enjoyed all of my time off and just didn't have to worry about anything, which was nice. And I just really took that time to actually rest. And what I realized is that even during this time off, is that I was getting drawn back into what I call the old habits of, thinking that I need to be busy to be, I need to be busy and productive. More busy to be productive, I guess, is the word that I'm looking for. That I had to, like, if I'm not doing something, I was getting stuck back into that hustle culture, right? Like that hustle thing that I'm learning and trying not to be a part of, because I just really got swept up in that, especially for the first few weeks of my time off. Like I was just finding things to do because I felt like if I wasn't doing something, then I wasn't being productive. So it was really only this last week of the holidays where I just was like, no, not doing it. This is about being soft. This is about the slow life. Like this is the vibe, and this is what we're doing. So yeah, it was just a real eye-opener. I think that is, like this hustle culture stuff is just so ingrained into us so much that you sort of forget that that's what's happening. Like you can easily slip into old patterns and behaviors without even realizing it. So for me, that was like, I was like, okay, interesting. So you know, and that's a great thing. Like, we're here, we're learning together. But this is why I wanted to set up this space. And, you know, like, look, we tried the cooking thing, and I'm like, it was just too much to have to worry about it. And it was just like an extra thing. And oh gosh, sorry guys, he's got his paw caught. Thanks, Bodes. My son decided to use the laptop and leave it all empty, so then I don't have battery, and now Bodhi keeps getting tangled in it. That's not for you. So yeah, like, so that was, you know, as I said, so getting caught up in those old sort of patterns and things like that. And, you know, I've just, and yeah, as I said, it just really showed me, Bodhi, no. Now he's like, he's like tripod. Oh gosh. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm all over the shop. And this is because I've been rushing, because we couldn't get the cameras working, and it was just like this whole fucking clusterfuck to get here, that now I feel all over the shop. So that's why. But doesn't it just show like how our weeks can get on top of us like that? It's Monday and we're already here. So yes, exciting. Tell me a little bit about you though. You know, I want to hear from you, and what, like, you know, what sort of things are you struggling with when it comes to time, you know, and energy, you know, like, and if you haven't watched Friday's YouTube video, I would highly suggest that you watch it. But, you know, the thing that we were really talking about, that was about time and energy leaks in our lives. You know, like, you know, sometimes you're always like, oh man, I just wish that I had an extra 2 hours in the day, or anything like that. But, you know, the reality is that that time is there. It's just that we're leaking it in places that doesn't need that to be happening. So, you know, is that something that sort of affects your life, where you feel like you don't have enough time? As I said, jump in the chat, let me know. Because it's, you know, like, it's great. It's like, we get to be really interesting, and we get to see, you know, what's happening on that side of things there. So, and that's what I want to talk to you about tonight, is about slow living and the 9 to 5, and if those sort of two things can coexist, or how we can, you know, make them coexist, you know, like, because having that sort of time gives you a level of freedom, right? And I think sometimes that's something that we all crave, is just having that sort of freedom to not have to rush around, to not add another thing onto our plate, and just be, you know, like, and you know, in a perfect and an ideal world, we'd all win the lottery and we wouldn't have to work, right? But that's not the world that we live in. And so that's why I wanted to talk about, you know, how you can make slow living work in your life, of where you are now, whatever that may look like. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about my day until I got home to get ready for this stream, which it was just, I've got so many notes for myself for next week about, you know, setting this all up the night before, so we can just come in and go. And then, but we'll work on that. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my day today, because I felt like today I really had, you know, obviously I had the week and everything to really think about setting myself up for success, because, you know, and I really spent a lot of time reflecting and go, okay, like, I don't want to get consumed by the hustle and grind again. And I was really worried about that, because that is something that I've done. Like, I get overly consumed with the hustle and grind, and I, you know, get burnt out, and I get stressed out, and I'm go, and then I just start adding too many things to my plate, and then I go through life on autopilot, and it's too much. So I just really didn't want to go back to that. And I think that was one of the beautiful things about starting a new job today, is that I really get to start with a clean slate as well. And, you know, and really, you know, like, so I spent a lot of time going, do you know what, like, how do I want this to be? And one of those things, like I said, I hate rushing. So for me, ultimate freedom, especially when I talk about slow living and slowing down and being able to, go about your life in a more intentional way, is the first thing that I really worked on was this morning was my waking up and my sort of time that I allowed myself to get up, have breakfast, get ready, and do the whole lot. So previously, so even my last job, I would, I would get up, get dressed, make a coffee, go. I was even at the point where I was actually eating breakfast at work, and I didn't rush, but I wasn't. But it was still a rush. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't getting in breakfast. I wasn't doing like a morning walk or anything like that. It was still sort of just getting up, getting dressed, getting ready to go, but doing it in a way that it wasn't like overly hectic, but it could be. As soon as you add in a bit of traffic or whatnot, it's, everything, shit goes out the window and it just is crap. So I just didn't want to do that again. So I have this morning, and I'm going to, it almost scares me saying it, but I worked out, okay, what do I need? I need a slow morning. I need a slow and intentional, quiet morning where I can get ready for the day without rushing around, because I think that the way that you start your day can also easily set the tone for your rest of the day, right? So I think at the moment that you start rushing and you're doing all these things, you start kicking in that stress response, and then you get irritated and frustrated, and that's sort of, like, have you ever noticed, like, you might be on the way to work and then there's traffic and there's that, and it feels like all these like bad things are sort of happening, and then you're getting easily irritable and everything about that. And it's sort of the way that you start your day, because you start attracting that sort of energy, right? So for me, I don't want that. I don't want to have to rush. So I woke up at 5:45. So that is my wake up time now. I never, ever in my life thought I would be one of these people. I am an early riser, but I am not a 5 a.m. early riser. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? I have always been, I'm never getting up at 5 a.m. And alas, I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. I'm getting up at 5:45 a.m. So it's a little bit different. And what that allowed me to do is like this morning. So I woke up at that time. It's dark. It's very dark at the moment. But then I got up and I was able to go take Bodhi for a walk without knowing that I need to rush it, because he's young and he's a puppy, and when he goes for a walk, he wants to sniff everything, right? And I can either get really frustrated with that and hurry up, or I can, like getting up earlier means I can allow that time for him to sniff and do that, but within reason, because then sometimes it's like, come on, just move, right? So we just had a nice walk, and it's just a 15-minute walk. It's not a long walk, and but it's enough to get those steps in. It's enough to feel good in the morning. And then I came home, and then it was breakfast time, and sorry, he's stretching. He's so cute, and he's about to kick the tripod. Oh no, we're good. And then we come home, and then so one thing I'm trying to really do as well with my own hormones and health is not have coffee before I have food. All right, so I'm trying to have food first. And this is a huge thing for me, because I'm not a breakfast eater. My whole life, I've never been a breakfast eater. And then when I eat breakfast, it's usually later, like at 10 a.m. or something in the morning, right? And I just survive off of caffeine. Like I am like a caffeine fiend. So, but I know what that's doing is it's really wreaking havoc on my cortisol and my nervous system. And that's something that really, this is part of that slow living, is about reconnecting with yourself. And so I'm trying to heal that part of myself. So that's what I'm doing with my slow morning. So it was like this morning, had a beautiful breakfast, made hot porridge, which was just delightful on a really, really cold day. And then, of course, he's found the squeaky toy. And then, and I sat down and I actually just enjoyed my breakfast. Then I had a coffee, and I noticed the difference, where when I have the coffee afterwards, where I don't get that anxious feeling, or like, I've got to go and I've got to do this. And then I had the time to then, pack my bag ready to go. I'd done a lot of things the night before. Like I picked out my outfit the night before. I had put everything in the fridge for lunch and everything all ready to go. So all I had to do was pop it into the bag. I'd even set up our travel coffee cups so that they were ready, in the morning for me to do the coffee for on the road. And then it was, then I could sit down and I got ready, I sat at my mirror and did my makeup and did all those things, like it was just lovely. And so then it was time to, and and I kind of was all ready to go. And I even got to do things like, I did an oracle reading. So I did card pull for the morning as well. And just like having a moment of just being able to, connect with sort of source. And I was like, this is just so nice. And then I went to work, and so, and I was almost like at that point, I was like, oh, what? Oh, still 20 minutes before I got to leave. It was crazy. Like, and I'm not used to that. So that was definitely the way that I reclaimed my morning, and it was worth it. I think that extra 15 minutes of getting up at say 6 to a 5:45, I didn't notice, which I really thought I wouldn't. I thought I would just have a really hard time with it, but I didn't. So that was good. Then the second step that I sort of did to keep this sort of one thing that I can identify that I've always hated is I hate my commute to work wherever I've worked, because where I live in the Adelaide Hills there's not heaps of jobs around here. So a lot of the time you are having to commute down the hill, as you would say. So either in the city or at Marion or, all these different sort of places, and they're not close, right? My last job it took me an hour to get there, so the new one's 45 away, which is not too bad. That's actually pretty good for living in the hills. But it's also, I have this beautiful part of the drive, which I love. And then you jump on the freeway and it is traffic. And then you get into the actual sort of city bit and it's just shit. I hate it. I hate traffic. I hate the busyness. And it's just, you can get really frustrated. So again, I wanted to be really intentional about my drive so that I could create this feeling of slowness, even though there was so much going on around me. And nice and simple, all I did was just curate a really beautiful playlist, with the help of my friend ChatGPT, of course. But I curated this really beautiful playlist. So then I just jumped to the car and I got in, I popped in where I needed, on my maps, and I put on my music, I'm ready to go. And then it's like, then I actually enjoyed my drive. And the music was up, not too loud, but loud enough so that I'm not hearing all the traffic or really, you know what I mean? You're just sort of driving and it's just beautiful. And it's like, and I get to work with a little bit of time to spare, so I don't have to rush straight on in there to get all set up. And, then got in there and did my thing today, and it was just beautiful. And, and again, same, having the pre-packed lunch and everything. So it just meant that I was able to, during my lunch break, actually just sort of, I didn't have to worry about finding food or anything like that. I could actually just disconnect for that time to, recharge my brain then too. And I think something that I also really did so, and I think that's what I'm trying to tell you, right? And what I'm trying to share with you is that there's so many ways to create slow living or this softness within your life, even if you have to be out of the house, 10 hours a day or whatever it is, like there is ways to create like these things that we're chasing, their feelings, right? And there's a way to recreate these feelings, whatever your sort of circumstances are or whatever you're doing on your day-to-day. Like you can create these little pockets of luxury, right? And relaxation. And that was the same. Like I really set myself up with as well. Like I bought myself a, new job present, and, and that included things, so I've got a beautiful insulated bag and, new stuff to keep my lunch in and all that sort of stuff, and a gorgeous cup from T2 so that I can have these beautiful relaxing tea moments in the afternoon. And I bought myself, luscious tea. So, and it meant, at 3:30 when I've got the 3:30 itis, that I can, take a break, go fill up my coffee mug and just sit there and just enjoy a tea for 5 minutes. That's just what I mean. Like these are little things that you can do to create these really special moments in your life. So that feeling that you're chasing. Do you want to say hello to everyone? Come on. There we go. Good boy. Yes, good boy. He doesn't know he's on camera. as if he knew he was on camera, he would be hiding from it because he doesn't like photos. Even though all my camera roll is all about you, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, gosh. That was the thing that I missed the most today, let me tell you. I missed him so much. But I got that excitement when I got home, which was beautiful. And of course, my darling husband did send me a little photo update as well, so that I didn't miss him as much. So I still felt like I could see him and be here, which is just lovely. And again, that's another point of being able to create that moment in your life. You know, what can you put in place so that you can enjoy what you're doing, even, you know, like, even especially when you're doing, you know, the things that you sort of have to do, you know, like, I just really think about that and what you do. In a perfect world, the way that I came home would not be this rush. And in turn, what I probably will do now is, you know, we're going to work out a better camera system because for whatever reason, it hasn't been working lately properly and we don't like that. But then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my titles and my descriptions and everything else the night before, so it's just ready to go. You know, tea set up and, you know, dinner for tonight is set up in a way that it's cooking now while I'm here doing this tonight. So it just creates that space. And very much about, you know, those, you know, we've said this in another YouTube video about romanticizing your life as well, right? And the moments, and, you know, so I create rituals for everything. So tonight when I have my shower, you know, I've got an evening ritual. And yes, I've made a playlist for that. If you are not onto making playlists for soundtracks of your life, you are like sorely missing out on a part of your life of just making things just epic. Like, I don't know, there's something about having a soundtrack, you know, it's just, it just feels so nice. But like tonight, I'll have a shower. My music, my playlist will be on, of course, and I have my everything shower. And, you know, then I'll sit down and I will do my skincare for the evening so that I'm all, you know, lush and ready to go. I've picked out, you know, I'll pick up my clothes for tomorrow as well, so I don't have to think about that. I will pre-prepare part of my lunch so that I don't have to worry about that in the morning, you know. And it's just having these little checks and balances and systems in place to make your life easier as well, to create that feeling that you are looking for, because it is possible. It is possible to slow down in a busy world. It is possible to live a soft life even with like a hustle culture around you. Like, you get to be that change. And I think that that's something like really empowering on that other side of things as well. So that's just, you know, I guess my little 2 cents on it. But I like to share with you, you know, how that sort of looks, right? Because it just, you know, I just want to impart that little bit of wisdom, right? Like, so that you can, you know, maybe you're feeling like everything is just so fucking overwhelming right now, and you know, and you feel so disconnected with what makes you feel amazing and feel really good, and you feel like you're running out of time and you don't have time for this, and you know, you're doing that out of obligation or whatever it may be. Like, you do have this way, like, you know, I guess it's just really encouraging you to take that power back so that you start being like, you just be the main character of your life, but you be like, you're in charge of your life. Instead of letting it get away from you, like, let's stop, reflect, rein it back in, relax. Okay, you know, like, and I think that's too the same with like the obligations and everything that you have, and what are you doing, and reflecting on those, you know. And that was definitely something that we spoke about in the YouTube video this week about, you know, what are you doing that is draining your energy? You know, what are you doing that are like energy vampires? You know, like, what are you doing out of obligation? What are you doing because you've been brought up to people please? You know, like, really looking at that. Like, I just, you know, I harp on this a lot because to me it is something that's really important, because we, you know, it's like I felt like this year, I woke up this year and I'm like, shit, I just waste my time on so much shit. You know, like, and that tomorrow I might not have that time. I might not wake up tomorrow and I'll never get that time back. And, You know, do I want to be remembered for, you know, people pleasing, doing everything for everyone and never for myself or never for my family because I'm too busy doing everything else because people think that that's what I should do? You know, like I learned very quickly I wasn't a school mom, like, and I didn't want to do that out of obligation. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, if it's something that brought me joy, then absolutely. But if it's something that you're doing because you feel obligated to do it, or that, you know, oh, well, it's what women should do, it's what a mum should do, or it's, you know, it's what all the other school mums do. Like, as soon as you're doing things like that for those reasons, they are the wrong reasons to be doing it. You know, like, and instead you could be taking that time back for you to refill your cup, to, you know, do something for you. Like, it's just, you've got to start doing it, because if you don't, you'll get to the end of your life and be like, well, shit, that ended a whole lot quicker than I thought it was. I thought I had more time. I thought I was going to be able to do this, and I just never did. And you're going to get to the end and go, I wish I had done this. I wish I'd spent more time, you know, enjoying my life. I wish I'd spent more time not being a stressed out mum, pulling my hair out 24/7. Like, these are the things you're going to wish for. But I think what we need to realize is that we have that power to actually change that ourselves. Yeah. And just to calm down. So, with that being said, how long have we been going for? 7:18. 7:18. I don't want to keep people too long. I want more little bite-sized ones. I get sad when he leaves. He just breaks my heart. Oh, you don't know? He's gone over to that side of the couch, just, you know, looking at me now. So what I would like to do is I want to talk about, like, I'm going to call them my little soft life rebellions, or my little, you know, challenges, like, and think about a little way that you could challenge yourself this week, for, you know, little soft life challenges, we like to call it. So, you know, how can you know, like, I want you to sort of think about how you can sort of reclaim some slow living or some softness within your Monday to Friday, right? I don't want to talk about weekends yet, because weekends are a whole different things. I want to talk about your Monday to Friday, because this is the time when most of us are on our autopilot, and we get up, we get dressed, we get ready, and we do, you know, this. We're on that autopilot, getting everything done that we need to do that day. So what I would love to do is set like a little bit of a challenge where, you know, you reclaim some of that time back in yourself, you know, in that week for you. So, you know, some different sort of, what could you do? You know, could it be something like scheduling 20 minutes to do nothing on a weekday or / weeknight? God forbid. Could it be, you know, like, could you find a way, you know, could you wake up 15 minutes earlier to weave a little bit more slowness into your morning so that you're not rushing? Could it be, you know, could you go buy yourself some really lush tea, and at 3:30 every day take a little 5-minute tea break to just like enjoy a really nice cuppa, even if it's at your desk while you're working, but you have this little sensory escape to yourself? I don't know, like, these are little things that don't have to be like overly complicated, right? You know, is there, you know, maybe you have one day during the week that's particularly quite busy. So could you prep yourself like a slow cooker meal the night before that you just got to whack on the pot? So then when you come home, dinner's all you have to do is serve it, and then you don't have to think about it. So you've just taken that one less stress off of your plate. Or if you're feeling up to it and you want to try something maybe a little bigger, how about you say no to something this week? And, you know, or say no to something in your schedule. Like, if you have a quick look at that schedule and be like, you know what, that thing there, like, I actually just fucking hate it. Can you get rid of it? That's my little soft life challenge for you this week. But what I would love for you to do, if you are going to do one of the challenges, I want you to let me know about it. All right. So, like, jump in the comments. jump online, you know, like onto the social medias, slide a DM in and just be like, hey, like, I love that episode and I tried this and it was amazing. Or, you know, maybe you go, I tried this, but it just wasn't for me. Whatever. Just like share it, because it would just be really good to know if this sort of content is resonating with you or hitting home at all. So just let me know. So we are going to wind it up for tonight, but something that I would like to do and a little bit different, and this is something something that I used to do, was something that we called Self-Love Club. And it was a beautiful little cohort of women, and you know, we sort of did you know, we did coaching and things like that. But something that I did at the end of it that was just really popular with the ladies, and you know, for some of them it was like their favorite thing, because it was like almost permission to relax, because it was like it was a part of this thing that they had signed up to do. And we would do like a little meditation at the end. So I just want to take you through something like that now. But they just loved it, because it was like they could have like the little couple of minutes. It doesn't go for long. We're only going to go like 2-3 minutes, maybe 5. And yeah, it just sort of allowed themselves to breathe, to relax, just to chill out, you know. And some people, it may not be for them, and you'll just skip to the end, and that's totally fine as well. All right. But it is just about reclaiming some time to yourself, because I just think that Mondays onwards, right, the week can start to claim you. And I feel like this is our little way of just taking that back, slowing it down, coming home to ourselves. All right. So get comfy. All right. Shake it out. Let's shake out some of that like stuck energy. And then we're just going to come into our breath. Okay, so I don't want you to think about deepening the breath or anything like that. All I want you to do is just start focusing on your breath. All right, so just noticing it coming in and out. I don't want you to change anything about what you're doing. I just want you to draw your attention to your breath. All right, so we're just going to slow down here. So I want you to take note of how that breath feels. You know, like when you breathe in, you feel that coldness go up through your nose. And when you breathe out, and how your body moves, like in your shoulders sort of drop. And I just want you to take note of these little things, right? Just with your breath. And if you haven't already, and if you're in a place where you can, just, you know, close your eyes and just relax. I like to give my neck a little stretch while we're doing this. Maybe you want to grab your shoulders, and when you breathe in, bring them up, and then when you breathe down, pull your shoulders down. I don't know about you, but I carry all my attention up in throughout my shoulders and my neck. I remember teaching body balance, or when I was becoming an instructor, and they would always say, remove your shoulders from your ears. I was like, this is as low as they go. Now, I do want you to start just getting a little bit more intentional with your breath now. So what that just means is I just want you to breathe in through your nose, and then you're going to breathe out through your mouth. So you're just pushing that energy out of your mouth. Start to deepen that breath as well. So each one that you do, just make it so that in-breath is a little longer. All right, see if you can steady your out-breath as well. So, and slow down your out-breath. All right, and just kind of come in the moment. Now you might have some thoughts that might come to your mind. Don't beat yourself up if you do. All right, so just breathe in. Let them pass. All right, it's natural for those thoughts to come up. It's how we're wired. It's natural to start thinking about your shopping list. Just breathe in. let it go. All right. I want you to start thinking about when you feel most relaxed, when you feel the best. Like, just think of a time where you're just like, this is the most relaxed I've ever felt. What were you doing? What weren't you doing? You know, what was it about that moment that really made you feel that way? Was it the fact that you didn't have to rush anywhere? That there was maybe peace and quiet? I think about those feelings, like not just being relaxed, but the feelings that were there with it as well. Were you sipping on a beverage? Was it like a beautiful tea or wine? Were you out laughing with the girls and you just didn't have a care in the world? And the reason why I want you to think about these today is because I want you to take note of those times in your life when you have felt the best. You know, when you felt at peace, where you felt happy, where you felt content or relaxed. I want you to think about those moments. And then I want you to think about what made those moments special. Was it the company that you were with? Was it the company that you weren't with? You know, just have a think about these. Now, what I want you to do is think about, how could I recreate those moments tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday? You know, maybe I could pour myself a beautiful glass of wine and put on some lovely music and dim the lights and just sit in the stillness and the quiet. Maybe it was being out in nature. Maybe I could wake up and go stand outside and just breathe in some real fresh air and put my feet in the grass and feel really grounded. Let's bring that attention back to that breath now. Hopefully your heart rate slowed down that little bit. I can tell you I don't feel as frazzled as what I did earlier. Beautiful. I do apologize once again for being late. I know that I promised 6:30. I think that moving forward, I'm probably going to bump that time back just a little bit. We'll see. Work on my tech, do all those fun things. But, you know, as always, I thank you so much for joining me here, right? Like, it means everything when you come back, you know, if you're not live, but you watch it afterwards. If you do that, please make sure you're like hitting the like button too. You know, pop a comment, let me know that you came, you know, and that you watched. You know, if there's something that you resonated with, let me know what it was so I can put more of that out there for you. Like, it's just, you know, this gets to be your space too, right? Like a space where you can come, you know, create a community, do all those beautiful things. All right. You know, if this did fill your cup, what I would love for you to do is share it with another sister, a slow living sister. So, you know, share it with someone else who might need a little bit of permission, a little bit of time, you know, and if this is a moment that you like, you know, schedule it in every Monday. Let's join each other Mondays, and don't get shy, get in the comments, all right, and get in the chat, because, you know, down the track, the more that this happens and the more people start getting in the chat, the more interactive that this can be, and this can be more about what it is that you're looking for as well, not just about what I'm talking about. Okay, I would absolutely love that. And yeah, as I said, leave a comment and let me know what it is you're reclaiming this week. I want to know how you are slowing down, how you're going to create a little bit of slowness in your life and relaxation and peace. I want to know how you're taking it back from this busy, chaotic world over there. All right. I just love that. Now, for now, though, I would love for you to join me next week. It will be a little bit more organized, I promise. And yeah, just come along, join me, same time, same softness, I promise. Have a great week. And remember to slow down. Bye.